Today we're going to be taking an equation in general form and solving it by using the quadratic formula. So this is the problem we've chosen to solve, and so first we need to actually figure out what the quadratic formula is. And it is x equals negative b plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
Okay, so now that we have it in general form, you see that this would be your a, this is your b, and this is your c. So a equals 1 because we notice that there's a coefficient of 1 in front of the x. And b would equal 2, and your c equals negative 8. And now that we also have the quadratic formula, you just plug it in. So x equals negative 2 plus or minus square root of 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times c, which is negative 8. And then you put that all over 2 a times a.
Okay, so what we need to do next is that when you do a quadratic formula, there's actually going to be two answers because there's a plus or a minus, because it's negative b plus or minus radical. So first we need to split up the equation. So first we're going to do x equals negative 2 plus radical of 2 squared minus 4, 1, negative 8 over, all over 2 times 1. And so first we're going to solve this one by figuring out underneath the radical. So to do that, we need to do 2 squared, which is 4, and then negative 4 times 1 times negative 8, which equals 32. And we still have that all over 2a, which is 2 times 1, but we can just simplify that and make that 2, because 2 times 1 is 2. And then next we're going to simplify the radical by going x equals negative 2 plus 4 plus 32 is 36 all over 2. And then now, because the square root, of 36 is 6, so we can simplify that out by going negative 2 plus 6 over 2. And then next we go negative 2 plus 6 equals 4 over 2, and then we can simplify that to 2. Now that's only one side of the problem. Now we need to go over and do negative 2 minus radical. So that's going to be x equals negative 2 minus radical 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 8 all over 2 times 1. So we're going to figure out those sides of the problem first, which is x equals negative 2 minus radical of, it's still the same thing over here because it's still under the radical, so it's still 4, because 2 squared is 4, take away 4 times 1, negative 4 times 1 times negative 8, which is still 32. Still all over 2 times 1, which is 2. And then x equals negative 2 minus the radical of 36, because 4 plus 32 is 36, all over 2. And now, because the square root of 36 is 6, as it was over here, we can go x equals negative 2 minus 6 over 2. And negative 2 take away 6 equals negative 8, still over 2, and then you can simplify that to negative 4. So our answers is 2 and negative 4.
Okay. Okay, so now that we've realized that there's two answers because of the plus and the minus, which separates it out to two equations, we can now plug these both back in to our original equation to figure out if we got it right. Now, to do that, they both have to equal 0. So you would just plug them back in. So y equals, you could say 2 squared plus 2 times 2 minus 8. Now, this is going to equal 2 squared is 4 plus 4 minus 8, which then equals 8 minus 8, which we know equals 0. So, got that one right. So, now for our second x, we're going to say y equals, parentheses, negative 4 squared plus 2 times negative 4 minus 8. We then get negative 4 times negative 4 is 16, negative 8, because 2 times negative 4, and that would also be negative 8. So then that equals 16 minus 16, which we know is 0 as well. So